Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be starting a new game of Hearts of Iron 4. I just want to quickly say before we get going, the last game we played was the Ottoman Empire. I lost the save file so I couldn't finish off the last episode where we were going to take out the Soviet Union. Today, instead, we're going to be playing as Lithuania and we're going to be taking on the Soviet Union. So we're going to be playing as tiny little Lithuania down here and we're going to be taking on the entirety of the Soviet Union. It's going to be difficult, we might not be able to do it, but I think I can do it. So let's get right into it. So we actually have 3 research slots rather than 2, which is very nice. We're going to go for mechanical engineering, and then we're just going to do the regular industry tech. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we don't build anything in Memel, and we're just going to build one over here for now. And then we are going to have to switch to fascist, so we're going to start off with political effort. And let's begin. So there's a few unique things you need to know about Lithuania. Effectively, it's, without sounding very rude, it's kind of insignificant, right, as a country in World War II. Really can't have that much of an impact anywhere at all. It's not even used as a gateway into Germany because that's what Poland is used for. But there are a few things you need to know about. So in terms of resources, you've got very, very little. You've got free steel, not very much, which means there's no reason to not go straight for free trade because, you know, more resources to the market doesn't matter to you because you haven't got any anyway. Now, you also really suffer because you have very, very, very little manpower. You've got an entire population of 2.2 million. That's tiny, right? That's less than, like, just Berlin on its own. The province of Berlin has 7.2 million. You're really going to struggle for manpower. So what we're going to do to counteract that is we're going to form the Balkan Union. Now, the Balkan Union is Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. And you put all 3 of those together and you form the Balkan Union, which means we get cores on the rest of these territories as well. Doesn't give you a huge amount of manpower, but it multiplies it by about 2.5 times, which gives you around 5 million. It also gives you more factories, a tiny amount of more resources. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the trick is you need Memel to form the Balkan Union, right? You need this province here. But Germany will ask for that very early on. So that forces you to take over both Estonia and Latvia before Germany asks for Memel. If you don't get the timing right, you won't be able to form the Balkan Union. So let's get on that. We are going to want to build a lot of fighters, not because we can afford them, but mainly just because we want to stop the Soviets having air superiority. It's going to be much harder for them to push if they can't get green air. So if we can build up a small fighter force, that's going to be well worth it. Now, we are going to have to cram out absolutely as many units as humanly possible, so we don't want to upgrade them early on. If anything, we actually want to make this division template smaller, because the more we can cram out, the better. The main way we're going to take out Estonia is just by overwhelming their forces. So, we need as many divisions as we can get. And they don't even have to be fully equipped. If we're lucky, there'll be holes in their line and we can just walk straight around them. We don't have any field marshals or generals. That's always nice. So we finished political effort and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do collective ethos. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a fascist demagogue. So typically in these games, my strategy now has changed, and I kind of like to not get a fascist demagogue and use that 150 political power to instead change our economic laws, because this, the extra 5% construction and research is really helpful. However, we need to take out Estonia and Latvia as soon as possible, which means going fascist earlier is really going to help us. We're going to start working on our nationalism focus. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch to free trade. So because we're Lithuania, we have such little manpower. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start working on militarism, because otherwise we're not going to be able to pump out any more divisions. So we've completed militarism. So instead of continuing down this path here, the extra 2% is going to be nice, and we are going to want these bonuses down here. But short term, a priority is getting as many divisions out as possible. So we're actually going to come down the industrial focus and work on our armor efforts to get more military factories. So just a quick note from me, I am actually very sick at the moment. It seems everyone I know is sick at the moment over the Christmas period. So if you can hear that in my voice, I do apologise. I'm past most of it, but I needed to record, and I've still got a little bit of a cold. So if you can hear it, I do apologise. I hope you enjoy the video nonetheless. So we finished our industrial focus. Now we're going to start working on our armour effort. We've only got 1 military factory at the moment, so getting another 3 is literally going to quadruple our industry. You'll also notice that we're starting to bank our political power as well. That's because as soon as we physically can, we want to turn fascist. Because like I said, we're on a huge time budget. We need to form the Balkan Union before Germany asks for Memel, because we can't say no to Germany. We can't fight them off. They're too strong. And even if we could fight them off here, we're not going to be able to stop them pushing into Poland. So we need to turn fascist as quickly as possible. So we're just banking our political power so we can do that. And then once we've done that, we can jump straight to war economy, and we can go to extensive conscription as well. We finished pumping out our divisions, so now we can work on actually getting our reinforcements equipped. As you can see at the moment, we've got 26% equipped, which is awful, but this whole strategy relies on the fact that Lithuania and Latvia and Estonia, that they won't be able to fill their lineup. If they do, we're really going to struggle because our divisions don't have much breakthrough, capabilities at all. If they do field the line, the best place to attack, in my opinion, is here. And that's because it's next to the capital and you can attack from 3 different directions. So we've recruited a field marshal and we're going to go ahead and give him the defensive doctrine for obvious reasons. So I don't normally do this, but we are in a rush, so we are actually going to go ahead and open up political discourse. And then we're going to hold the national referendum. If we really, really wanted to change even quicker, then we could discredit the government. But having the nationalism focus, having, we had a fascist assault divisions as well, you change, fast enough without having to spend that extra political power. So now what we're going to do is straight away is we are going to justify on Latvia. So I'm actually going to do something a little bit controversial here, and I'm actually going to go for the mass assault doctrine. Now hear me out. As Lithuania, we're really, really, really going to struggle for manpower, which means we need every single, inch of manpower we can get. And so, because of that, we need to go for either mobile warfare doctrine or mass assault doctrine rather than superior firepower or the grand battle plan, because we need that extra manpower. That extra 5% manpower, we need it. Otherwise, we're long term, we're not going to be able to stand up to the Soviet Union. We need every single bit of manpower we can get. And not only that, but going down the mass assault doctrine, we will get extra entrenchment. Now, it's only 5, but we then get a bunch of buffs mainly to infantry. Infantry is mainly what we're going to be using. Not a huge amount, but we're not going to have the production to build tanks, to build loads of artillery, to build loads of motorized and, stuff like that. So buffs that give us, infantry buffs and a little bit of entrenchment with manpower, I think that's actually worth it. And so for this specific example, that's what we're going to go with. I know some of you would disagree with that, but I think for this specific scenario, that works. So he stepped up from civilian economy all the way to war economy, which is always nice. We're going to continue to work down our industrial focuses. So our justification of Latvia has finished, and we want to obviously start the war as soon as possible. So what I've done is I've split our army into 2 groups. We have effectively the yellow line, which will just hold. There's, the line is 8 tiles long, 8 divisions to hold the line, that's perfect. And then these 4 are just going to walk into the capital. Rather than actually attacking, I'm tempted just to send them around, and I think I might do that. So what we are going to want to do is we're going to want to push with the yellow divisions, and then we're just going to tell the blues to walk around, because the less engagements we have, the better. We just want the yellow line to pin them so we can walk around them. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's declare war. We have very limited oil, so now we're going to tell our planes to go in just while we're attacking. Cool, and they've left a hole in the line here, so we're just going to tell them to walk around that. Okay, so taking the capital is not quite enough to capitulate them. We need this one province as well. And there we go, we've finally taken this port here, and that should be enough to capitulate them. Wow, okay. I don't know what they've done to Latvia recently, but how is that not enough to take them? They're such a small country, and we've taken out both their capitals. Okay. Honestly, I have no idea how the Latvians are holding on. I've taken pretty much everything from them at this point. And yeah, they're still not capitulated. So props to them. Props to them. They're putting up a fight. We've got a one little encircled guy here. You know, they're done. They can't. Yeah, there's nothing they can do. But they put up a good fight. So props to them. And there we go. It was a bit of a struggle, but with minimal casualties, we've taken out Latvia. So let's just take all states. Okay, so now we've got a few months to get ready for Estonia. So let's get ready. So it's tempting to start building factories over here in Estonia, where you've got 70% infrastructure. But I would advise against doing that, at least to begin with, because it's very unlikely you're going to be able to hold all of your territory. So what you want to do is you want to focus on concentrating all of your industry and your factories in Lithuania, because you're going to hold this land a lot longer than you're going to hold the rest of your country. So you want to avoid building in Memel, and you want to avoid building up in Estonia and Latvia, and you want to just concentrate your industry in these three provinces here. It means it takes a little bit longer because you got 1650 as opposed to 70, but you're going to be able to hold this a lot easier than you can hold the rest of this. Our justification of conquering Estonia has finally finished, so now we're going to immediately go for them. I'm going to pause it, make sure our airplanes are deployed. We've only got 60, but that should be enough. And then, same as last time, we're actually just going to want to tell both of them to go as aggressively as possible and just break their line. Or we could go for a nice encirclement, actually. Set these guys to pin, and let's go. Okay, I actually want one of these guys to attack here. Not because I think we're going to win that attack, but just because I purely want to pin them. And then we'll send these guys to pin here as well. Send the guys round, and that should be fine. So far we've taken 17 casualties, and we've nearly taken out their entire country. We're just keeping them all pinned down here, so they can't stop us from taking these provinces back here. These guys technically aren't encircled. I guess they've got some like canoes that go over this lake over here. But once we take this port, then that should be that for them. This guy's going straight for their capital. These guys are going to hold these guys in here. Okay, so these guys are now fully out of supply, so these guys should start to crumble. So we'll actually send you guys here, and then here. And then you come here. Cool. You come here. And there we go. So we've taken out all of Estonia. So we're going to take all states, end turn, and we're done. And with that, we've taken out, by 1938, we've taken out 2 countries. We're now Iron Wolf Lithuania, but we can unify the Baltics. And there we go. We have a very aqua, dark bluey murky green type colour with a weird ass flag, but we've now got 10 military factories, which isn't bad to be honest. Unification of the Balkans. With the conquest of all lands belonging to the Baltic states, the Lithuanian government has now begun increasing moves towards integrating the newly conquered territories. As a result, in an attempt to rally the people behind the state, there has been an increase in pan-nationalist propaganda with a clear support for the government. A Lithuanian official was quoted as saying the Baltic countries have always felt a strong kinship to each other. It is only natural that they should be unified, especially in light of the threats of our borders. Only by standing together can our people remain independent and free. They have therefore now proclaimed the true Baltic unity, renaming their country to the Baltic Unitary State. And yeah, so we've now formed the Baltics. I'm not really sure where I want to put my extra military factory. If we look at... Okay, I think I'm going to put it on infantry equipment, which I didn't want to have to do. I was kind of hoping we'd get enough from conquering those 2 countries, but it doesn't look like we have. I've put a little bit of artillery and support equipment in these guys here, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to up them to it's a 20-width infantry unit like this, and this will most likely be the divisions we keep, not because they're very good, but because it's kind of all we can afford, and even this I think is pushing it a little bit. We can now tell these guys to deploy it when they're ready. And we can merge these guys into one army. Tell them to hold that for now. And yeah, I think once this military. I think once this military factory is complete, I'm going to start building forts, because realistically at this point, if I focus all of my industrial efforts into building more factories, we're not going to get that much more anyway. It's annoying because you'd want to keep this province here, but we're just not going to be able to do it. You know, it's much easier to hold this up until Poland goes. As soon as Poland goes, Soviets get all of this territory here, which means they can attack you from here as well. So you really want to minimize the amount of provinces they can attack you from. But realistically, it's not actually an awful idea to just fall back straight to this one province here. Just try and hold this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile, this tile, and this tile. I mean, realistically, if you really wanted, you could hold just these 5 tiles here if you really wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not actually an awful idea, and it's something I might consider. But that's going to be something we're going to consider next time. So, you know, yet again, sorry about the Ottoman Empire series. I'm going to double my efforts to make sure that, you know, we actually finish this series. That doesn't happen again. I will just say, you know, the Glorious Victoria series I did 2 episodes, and they were received very well. People seem to really like them. So if you'd like to see more of that, just let me know, and I'm happy to make more of that. I really enjoyed making it. It's a very fun game. But as it stands, we're going to be finishing off this series first. So I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. Hope you didn't get sick like me. I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who's subscribed, everyone who watches this channel. If you did like this game, and you do like this episode, then I do have another playthrough up on the Netherlands and the Ottoman Empire, so feel free to go check those out. Or if you like more PvP type stuff, then as I mentioned, I did do a couple of episodes on Glory Victors. But as always, I thank you all so much for watching. It means the world to me. So I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.